I am so excited to be speaking to Kate today. Oh my gosh, what nobody knows, or very few people know, is that you are the amazing artist who did our incredible octopus illustration that everyone has been talking about today. So I'm very, very excited to be speaking to you. I'm wondering if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work.
Hi, yes. Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm Kate Wadsworth. I am located here in Hawaii. I'm a freelance illustrator, a graphic designer, and a muralist. Um, and I did the poster for this year's artwork.
So cool. Okay, so I have a bunch of questions from a whole bunch of different schools. And the first one is, when did you go from drawing in like a notebook, a drawing pad, to street art, like big murals? How did that happen?
It was a long process, I think. Forever and always, I've always been drawing ever since I was very little. All throughout
Yeah.
school, I took art classes, I took extra art electives, and then I decided when it came time for college that I would apply for art school. And I got in, I went to VCU in Richmond, Virginia, and I studied communication arts, which is essentially illustration. And then after I graduated, I stuck around a little bit longer and then decided to move back home to Hawaii. And when I got back here, there was a mural festival called Powwow at the time, and now it's called Hawaii Walls. And I volunteered for that. And then the next year, I got invited back to actually paint. And so for the last, I don't know if it's been 10 years, since 2016 perhaps,
Yeah.
I've been able to work with them as well as some other mural festivals around town and island wide. And that's kind of how I got segued into murals and street art.
Oh, so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
And this leads me really well into the next question, actually. What is the biggest mural that you've ever done, and what was it of?
Oh. Oh, good question. Oh, I don't know if I could give you actual measurements.
Okay, I don't need measurements, but how big? Tell us. Like size of
Well,
building.
yeah, like a two-story building enough to need a scissor lift. I just wrapped up
Wow.
one that was, I think, 20 feet tall and 30 feet wide. Um, and that was inside of like a brand new building that's kind of like warehouse style. But
Okay.
outside, I think it could have been roughly mm, maybe 25 feet. I don't know how like a two-story building, how tall a
Yeah.
two-story building is. Um, by maybe also another 20 feet. That's downtown in Kakako in Honolulu.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long does that take you to do a mural that big?
The one that's downtown was for one of those festivals, so it took about a week. And then the one that I just wrapped up recently took about maybe 2 months. But it depends, it always
Wow.
depends on like, what the artwork is, and it depends on where it is because this new place was sort of under construction, and then the employees had kind of come back to work, and it just ended up being easier to work kind of at night. So I'd kind of have like a
Okay.
night shift, and so that
Cool.
kind of condenses the hours a little bit into a longer stretch. But yeah, it always depends.
That's so cool. Okay, my next question. This next question made me laugh out loud when I read it. Not necessarily art related,
Mhm.
but somebody wanted to know, what's your favorite chocolate in Hawaii?
Oh my goodness, we have so many chocolates to choose from here. Um, I mean, I'm a little biased towards Lonohana and Onomea chocolate only because they've licensed my artwork for the packaging. But
Oh, nice.
there's so I'm taking a little
Does
tiny
that
shout
mean
out.
you get free chocolate?
Not often enough. I need to talk to them.
Okay.
No, they're great. There's oh my gosh, there's so many different types of chocolate. But if we're talking about flavors,
Yeah.
anytime they add like a coffee bean crunch to it, that's my
Okay,
favorite.
nice.
That's my favorite. And
Okay,
there's so many to choose from.
good choice. Good
Yeah.
choice. Okay. For us to win that. Can you tell us how you, when you think about your art, and I know like when I've been reading about your art, you say that it's like a really useful way to convey messages and like help people understand something. Like, how do you think art can help us protect nature, protect the ocean?
Oh my goodness, what a big question. I think in terms of like the street art or the mural art, when it's painted on something so large like the side of a building, it's kind of unavoidable, and so it brings awareness to things, no matter like what you're painting on it. Excuse me. And so if you're painting, sea life or this kind of idealized version of what, we want our oceans and seas to be and how we should protect it, then that's a really nice and quick and impactful way to kind of get that messaging across very quickly. Um, but also as far as just, studio artwork or illustration or social media or whatever, if you're just posting about those things and you're illustrating the love that you have for the ocean, it's going to come across and it's going to hit people in different ways. And hopefully it kind of encourages folks to at least have the ocean in their mind if they're not near it.
Mm.
Or, um, pull people a little bit closer, or, you know, I don't know how to describe that. Just remind people that it exists and it affects all of us because we're all connected to it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think sometimes some of the most powerful like murals that I've seen have been nowhere near the ocean. Like they've
Mm,
been in the middle of the city or something,
mm-hmm.
and definitely like stopped you in your tracks when you've seen
Yeah,
it and made,
yeah.
oh, that's the ocean, you know?
Yeah, the cool thing about murals too is that they kind of, if they're there long enough, they become landmarks in themselves. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's extra great advertising too if the messaging is really nice.
Absolutely. And I imagine it must be really cool for you to like see your art in lots of different places.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very it's funny because if if you boil it down, it's just like a mural is just a giant painting, but
Yeah.
and then you kind of use the same sort of the same processes, I guess. But once you're done with it and you step back and you go, oh my gosh, I just painted that whole two-story building, that 30-foot wide building. Like, wow, I did that. That's so cool. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like anybody could kind of do it, but it's, who's going to take the time to do it? And obviously you have to like have permission and stuff to do it. Don't just go paint a building. But but it's nice when people in the community or the neighborhood or wherever you are can come and see it, and they can also see it be created, and so they feel like they're part of the process too, and they can say, oh, 6 years ago I saw that come to life and now it's a part of our neighborhood, and they're more likely to kind of take care of it too, which is really nice. So it's always fun when the kids come by too, because they're like, how do you do that? It's like, you can do it too.
Yeah, it's so cool. So
Yeah.
my last question for you, and it's a really important one. If someone watching today is thinking, I want to do that, I
Mhm.
want to paint giant whales on buildings, that's how I'm going to help protect the ocean. Where do you start? Like where do you start if you wanted a career in like nature, ocean related art, illustration, murals, all that kind of stuff?
I would say there's probably so many different avenues that you could go down. But to start, if you want it to be art focused, I would say draw, 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 draw. Draw forever and always. Whether
Yeah.
it's I am biased again because I started with traditional artwork. So I always say have like a pen and paper or colored pencils
Mhm.
or even just regular pencils. It doesn't matter. We live in an age now where digital stuff is very, a lot more efficient probably these days for commercial work, but start with drawing, traditional and digital, um, and draw from life, because it's
Mm.
because everything is digital now and there's so many references that you can find online. There's photos of anything and everything, but it's so
Yeah.
important to like hone your skills and be able to observe something that's in front of you and draw from life from there, because that'll help you in the long run.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're starting there, you can get older, you can go to art school, or you can take some scientific illustration classes, which also could kind of
Oh.
segue into marine
Yeah.
biology and that kind of thing. Um, and then one day you'll have these skills, and then you can apply them to a big giant wall, or even just tiny studio paintings. Um,
Yeah, and I think, well, I really love what you said about drawing from like real life things. I think it's
mhm.
so, yeah, that's such a useful thing to think
Yeah,
about. And I also think that what's really cool now is what we're seeing is like lots of ocean conservation organizations actively looking for artists to work with and
yeah,
like integrating art into their campaigns and into
hmm
all of their work. And I think it's
hmm
yeah, I think we need more and more artists. So
yes.
it's like an exciting time. someone who loves to draw.
Yes, absolutely.
So cool. Okay, I have one last tiny question.
Mhm.
What is your favorite thing to draw?
Oh, this is a silly answer, but I love to draw people in places
Yep.
doing things. I love to draw
Nice.
people, but I love to generally draw like not just, a face or, from the shoulders up. I love to draw the whole body in motion usually because it kind of can tell a little bit more of a story when you can see people's hands, their limbs, they're in motion. It gives them more character and it gives them kind of immediately a little bit more backstory than if you were to just see somebody's portrait. And then when you put them
Yeah.
in a setting or an environment of any kind, you go, oh, I know exactly where they are, or I don't know exactly where they are. And now it's starting to ask the viewer or making the viewer ask questions that kind of either they come up with a story of their own, or you can put little Easter
Yeah.
eggs and little hidden things in there to kind of help them along with the story. But that's my long answer is anything and
I love
everything
it.
really.
I love it. Yeah, I was like, that's a broad category, but I like it. Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
so cool learning more about you. And also, thank you for creating such beautiful art. We are so proud to be sharing it today.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
sending love to you in Hawaii. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.